The hypocrisy and the cruelty and the sheer lack of foresight that has really defined Trump's immigration policies, especially in their early days of these ICE raids. A Florida man, a Trump-supporting Florida man, is now pleading with Trump to, quote, work something out after ICE agents swooped in, detained his wife, and deported her back to Venezuela. This is a woman who was in the process of getting her papers in order, trying to do everything the right way, as they say, but it didn't matter. She's gone. Her husband is begging, please let my wife stay here. She deserves to be here. So let's check out this video and then talk about it.
They turned off the cameras, excuse my language, and then they took my wife.
This man, who wished not to be identified, says his wife is from Venezuela and has lived in the United States for a few years. She was one of 3 people taken from this home. I'm told the 2 others were men who worked in construction. You see them here. This video, only 1 minute and 52 seconds long, we do not see his wife being removed from the home. But this is a picture of her that he keeps in his wallet. Her name is Vianis Ramirez, and he says she was in the process of becoming a United States citizen.
She already had a court date. She was good. Everything was good. He just came and they snatched her.
These are pictures from the Department of Homeland Security detaining other undocumented men and women in Broward County.
It's despicable what they're doing right now. It's very embarrassing.
President Donald Trump arrived at his Trump National Golf Resort in Doral Saturday, set to host GOP leaders for a conference. This man hopes this message makes it to him.
If I get a chance to talk to you, man, yo, please, man, let's work something out. So, you, man, let me keep my wife here in the United States, man. She deserves to be here, man.
ICE reports nearly 1,000 raids in the country on Sunday alone, which is up from just under 300 on Saturday. Here at the detention center in Miramar, things have been quiet for several hours, but we will continue to monitor this situation and bring you the developing news on raids in South Florida as they happen.
So what is this about? This story is really a stark reminder of a phenomenon that we've talked about before and we see all the time in politics. People tend to assume that harsh, punitive policies will always affect somebody else. It's not going to be my family. It's not going to be my partner. It's not going to be me. It's not going to be the people at the local restaurant that I like going to. It's not going to be people such that the supply chain for fruits or vegetables I get at my grocery store, they're not going to be affected. And the Florida man voted for Trump, presumably because he got into the rhetoric of cracking down on illegal immigration. And maybe he thought they're only going after bad people, the criminals, the ones who really don't belong here. And we've talked before how the thing is, when you empower a system that operates on fear and cruelty as a feature and indiscriminate enforcement, which is an important part of it, it doesn't discriminate. That's the way it works. It doesn't care if your spouse is the one who is hardworking and law-abiding. It doesn't care if they were in the process of legalizing their status but hadn't quite done it yet. It doesn't care about your family staying together. It doesn't care about how your life is going to be affected. This is the way that these systems work. And this guy is learning the lesson the hard way. Trump's immigration raids and the deportation policies, they were never about law and order. And of course, the entire concept of anything Trump doing being about law and order is laughable, given that he's one of the biggest scofflaw flouters of the law there is. But put that aside for a second. The entire ICE raid milieu was about making people afraid, dividing communities, turning people against each other, phone numbers to report suspected this and that, and appealing to the basest instincts of MAGA world. And we've seen this before. Time and time again, we see stories like this one where Trump's own supporters get caught in the crossfire. The farmers that support Trump are the ones that get screwed by the tariffs. The companies that support Trump are the ones that get screwed by his ever-changing opinion about his H-1B visa good or his H-1B visa bad. His wife, this individual's wife, not Trump's wife, was trying to navigate what is a broken an extremely bureaucratic immigration system. It genuinely sounds like she was navigating it as best she could. And she's thousands of miles away now, torn from her family. She wasn't one of these rapist undocumented immigrants. She wasn't a murderer undocumented immigrant. Trump said some families may get separated, moms may get deported, women, children, the whole thing. Tom Homan said the exact same thing. The guy still voted for Trump, and now it happened. In some way, you've got to give it to Trump that he was being honest. Doesn't matter if you vote for them, doesn't matter if it's a woman or a child or part of a family, they're doing it. They're doing what Trump said that they were going to do, all to satisfy Trump's sort of obsession with appearing tough on immigration. Now, what is especially gut-wrenching about this story is just the husband pleading, please, please let me keep my wife, let's work something out. And these desperate appeals, which they really pull at the heartstrings, it's hard not to empathize with it. They assume that Trump is appealable to when it comes to his humanity and when it comes to his empathy. But Trump doesn't do mercy. Trump doesn't do compassion, and his entire immigration policy has been built on a foundation of cruelty. He's not making exceptions. And these folks are, what's the phrase that the kids use these days? They effed around, and now they are fine.